Hey guys, welcome to a new video. So this week is a little bit different. This is from a analog horror series, one that I really enjoyed that is no longer up by the original creator, but there are reposts of it on YouTube. I decided I was gonna make Luther from Needle Mouse because I don't know if you guys collect the line of Jakks Pacific or not, but they did a line a while back where it was like these ugly neon colors. It was like neon green tails, neon Sonic, and like neon Knuckles. It was weird. I didn't like them, so I used the neon tails or whatever to make Luther. And I am currently priming it with white paint because I don't have primer, so I couldn't have just spray painted it and everything. So, and I prime everything: hair, body, eyes, mouth, everything. Let's go around because everything had to get redone. I will go ahead and ask the question of the week right now while I'm actually thinking about it. What is your all's favorite Sonic.exe/Sonic horror / creepypasta thing that you're into, like, or just something you've heard about? Here I already had his shoes done, but I figured I needed to just go ahead and redo them if I was redoing everything else. Because I really wanted to make this figure look good and not just like, oh yeah, you can tell that there's some like old customization here and some new, like, no, this figure is fully redone. I still have to, the one part of him's done. It's not in this video though, because if I put it in this video, it would be so long. So ultimately, I decided that this custom is going to end up taking 3 weeks. So you guys are getting the figure this week. Next week you'll get another part. I'm not going to spoil. And then the week after that you're going to get another part. Luckily next week's video is already recorded. And then the week after that I'll already have the video recorded and I'll post it and get it edited. But that's besides the point. The reason I really wanted to do this is because I did have a Sarah custom that eventually did get turned into my Sonic.exe, who then broke. So then I redid him using my old movie Sonic, and I thought he looked really good. Granted, you know, I probably could have sold my old movie Sonic. Oh, regarding the big project I was working on, still haven't started on that yet, if I'm being 100% honest. Mainly because I need about a good week worth straight of just being able to sit down and record, because it's going to take a bunch of videos. Maybe not a bunch, but... And no offense, I'm not trying to voice act that, so you guys will... Maybe some characters will have voices, some won't. And that's just because I'm not confident in my voice acting abilities for some characters. I'm sure you guys can also hear it in my voice. I'm a little stuffy right now, so I kind of need to wait for that to kind of blow over and everything. But besides that, that project will eventually get done. Just not yet. And here I started priming the body. The only piece that really didn't get touched here was like the chest. But arguably I should have gone through beforehand and gotten rid of all of the old orange paint and then redone it, and I didn't. But I know from this point on that next time if I'm working on a custom that was already a custom, take off all the old paint. So that wasn't my bad. But here I think I primed, yeah, everything's primed now. And then I did start working on the glove. So here's about where I started working on everything, gloves, body, and everything. I did have references pulled up off to the side, like off camera view, because the version of Luther I was making, I couldn't remember what it looked like off the top of my head. So I had those pulled up and was working with some references and everything, which I typically don't do. Typically, I can remember. Like I'll look at a picture before I start making a custom, just so that I don't have my computer pulled up or anything. But this go around, I had to, so I didn't mess like anything up or anything. And here I took like a smaller brush, so maybe I wouldn't get as much on the shoes to get the sock. But I hadn't realized I'd made one longer than the other. Here's where I started here's where I started to work on the body a little bit, I think. And I used a really nice, bright, vibrant orange because, like I said, I had references pulled up off to the side, and I matched my paints to his color and everything, and it matched up really well. And I'm so glad I did have references pulled up, because I honestly thought Luther still had the white parts off of Tails' tail, and he didn't, so I was really happy that I still had my reference pulled up and everything. Then I started working on the head with the same brush I used for the shoes, just because I don't want to get any in the eyes at the moment or on the muzzle. So I tried doing that as best as I could to just hopefully avoid messing up any paint. And then I decided I was going to make him look angrier, because the reference image I had pulled up, he had a very angry face. So I made sure to get his eyebrows in there and everything, or not eyebrows, eyelids. So it was closer to the reference. Sorry, I keep blanking really hard today, guys. This video was not recorded on Sunday when it's going up, but the voiceover is. So I went through, painted him up with the orange. I think I got a paintbrush to sit his head on while it dried. I was really trying to avoid getting like anything on his muzzle. I went back through and touched up his muzzle so that way any of the orange, it didn't just like sit there and then just dry, because it would have looked wrong. And then I got the other side of his bang too. And then for some reason, I finally went back through and got his ear. Don't know why I waited so long to go back and get his ear. I'm actually confused on my process for some of these things. But I went through, got his bang done, and the rest of his head. His body wasn't the worst part to get done. The only problem I encountered was like the leg joint, but that was about it. Again, I took the really fine brush to the front part of his chest, just so that way I didn't bleed, like have any go onto his chest fluff, because that would have made it inaccurate. So this too. I eventually went through and added, or they went through and added like a little like blue detailing on him and everything. Because when I did it, it didn't look so great. And as you can see here, they put his more defined eyelids. So yeah, that's this. Thank you for watching.